Well, hello. Today is Wednesday, November 17th. My hair, I kind of didn't comb it the right way today. I don't notice my hair until I do my camera because I don't look in the mirror. Anyway, today is Wednesday, November 17th. We do have birthdays today. Today is Moni, M-O-N-I, Moni. Her channel name is Maska Frog Lover. I always like when you guys come up with some really cool channel names. But it's Moni's birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Moni. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. It's also Sue Breeding, B-R-E-I-D-I-N-G. Sue Breeding. It's Sue B's, which I think is her channel name, Sue B. It's Sue's birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sue. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Well, I hope you both have a great birthday. I have been up since very, very early for me. Alyssa texted me at 7:45 to ask me if I could bring her gym clothes because she thought she had packed them in her school bag or backpack or whatever you call it nowadays. And she needed them for gym. Otherwise, she was going to get a check or something, a markdown or something. So I went over to her house and got her clothes, her gym clothes, and brought them over to the school. And the corner where Jim had his accident, where there's so many accidents. I don't know why they don't time it better. But there was another accident, really bad one. But no, it didn't look like anybody got hurt because I didn't see any ambulances. But the cars looked pretty bad. But the people were standing on the side of the road, and there was police and state police and the sheriff, and there was a whole bunch of people. So it kind of delayed the traffic a little bit. But as I was driving to Alyssa's house to go get the clothes, you have to go by the school zone. And I know the little hiding place where that police officer sits because I told you he pulled me over a couple of weeks ago. So I was like, and it's kind of like a speed trap, really, in my opinion, because the speed limit is 35, and it's like it's a busy residential street. But it's 35, and you don't go but 2 houses, and then all of a sudden the sign starts flashing because you don't know what time it's going to flash. Well, you do know it's school times, but anyway, they started flashing the 25s, and so I right away slowed down. I didn't put my foot on the brake because I always think that if you put your foot on the brake, then they think you were going faster than you were as you're going by them. So I did slow down. The guy behind me slowed down, and then sure enough, this police officer pulled out behind him, and I'm thinking, I know I'm only going 25. Now, I might have been going 30 because I did start to slow down because I knew the school zone was coming, and I didn't want to get pulled over again because I think they would remember me and then give me a ticket. But then he just followed us till we passed the school zone, and then he turned around, went back and sat in his hiding spot. Got some other poor sucker because after I got Alyssa's clothes, I had to come back that way, and he had somebody pulled over. So they can meet their quota every day on that. That's for sure. But I didn't walk this morning because it is raining, and so yeah. I was going to walk because a little bit of rain usually doesn't bother me, but I took advantage of the rain because I like to, with some of my plants, I like to deadhead them, and like my daylilies, I like to get them down to the nub so that the winter, that they don't go crazy. And with the rain, it was softer, so I could pull it out of the ground a little, because they're dead anyhow, the dead leaves and stuff. So I was probably out there working in the rain, which I could have walked, but I was working in the rain for a half an hour. But I wanted to take advantage of the soft ground to get the plants ready for the winter. And then I fed my birds, my outside birds. Every time I picked up my camera yesterday, because I was going to show you, there was birds sitting in my window, like looking in the window, like, hello, our feeders are empty. So I wanted to make sure I got out there. And then, so when I got home, I just been on track. I had an apple and a glass of water after I did my weeding. That's my habit of doing it after I did my walking. So it wasn't exactly the same kind of exercise that I've been getting, but it was a lot of bending over and stooping down and So I got some calisthenics in today rather than a walk. So I'm fine with that. And then for breakfast, I think I'm going to have some oatmeal and a grapefruit and a banana. And I took some, I don't know if you remember, I made that stew a couple weeks ago. I took a thing out of the freezer. I'm going to have some stew for dinner. And then I think I'm going to have a turkey sandwich for my lunch, because I'm going to eat 3 meals today. I don't always eat 3 meals, but every once in a while I do eat 3 meals. And so today I think, since the stew is not going to be really that filling, I think I'll eat a late lunch and an early dinner and kind of combine them, but eat them separately. And then I was having a hard time coming up with something to live my life by today. I mean, I hate to keep repeating things, but the one thing that kept coming in my mind is like, that I failed so many times this year, but I've never given up. So I always say that as long as you don't give up, you're still successful. And I really do think that failures do lead to success, because you kind of learn from your mistakes and hopefully try to correct them and then not repeat them again. And I think that as long as you keep trying, I've been on the plan now for 9 days. 9 days successful. And I'm just really amazed, because this is the longest I've been on track for 100% in a long time. So I do find myself to be very successful. And I think it's because I failed at doing it for so long this year. And I'm just really glad that I can do it now. I really am. I'm really proud of myself. So, I don't know how much more Jimmy has to do with the house before. I think the roof is going on. I think he's putting the trestles up this weekend, and then putting the roof up next week, and then he can start working in the house. I'm hoping to get a video up this week to show you his progress, because he's really making a lot of progress. Talk about succeeding. I think he's doing a lot of successful things with that house. He really is. And then just loving this new plan. I really am. Although I have to admit that I'm still a little leery when they keep giving me points. Now, I am eating way more vegetables and drinking more water than I have in the last year. I really am. And I'm really enjoying it, reminding me of how much I like it. I think I have to go get some raw broccoli, because I love to have like raw broccoli and raw cauliflower. I have frozen broccoli and frozen cauliflower, but as we say in my family, close, similar, not the same. Those are for cooking, not for eating raw. So maybe one day this week I'll do that. And then just start cleaning my house for Thanksgiving. Like you clean it all up so that people can come, and it's the same people that come all the time anyhow. So they see your house whether it's dirty or clean. But although my house, I can't say, is not dirty. Sometimes it might be a little messy, but I think it looks lived in. So, but anyway. But when I was trying to figure out what I was going to eat, because I am trying to change up my plan a little bit, and try to find some different foods, not eat the same all the time, although I don't think I'm really being that successful at that, but I'm trying. And I found this really cool, which I think I've shared before, and I forgot I had it, and I forget what it's called. I think it's called Super Cook. Can't find it now. If I can get back to the beginning. Super Cook, yeah, it's called Super Cook. And what you can do is you just put the ingredients that you have on hand, and it'll come up and show you all different kinds of recipes that you can use with just the food you have on hand. So I'm trying to use that a little bit more. What I'm going to do is when I find a recipe, after I find a recipe, then go into my WW app and then use the recipe builder to see how many points it is for me, because this is not going to list the points. It's just going to give you the recipes. And then you can probably tweak it from that. But I remember using it a year ago, and I loved it. And then for some reason I forgot about using it. So I'll leave a little clip here when I'm done babbling, and you can make the decision. I don't know if it's offered on like an Android, because I have an Apple devices, but I'm quite sure it was maybe under a different name. But you can see a picture of it to see what it looks like exactly, and you'll be. I think you'll love it. I really do. So, all right, let's get a Thinking of what we're going to do now. I'm going to watch some YouTube videos. Cuddle up in a blanket because it's a little chilly in here. I refuse to turn the heat up higher. I'm a rebel that way. Okay, I'll talk to you guys at, well, no, I'll show you the builder, and then after that, I'll show you my breakfast. Okay, I think this app is so cool. So this is what it looks like on my Apple. I don't know what you have on, I don't know what it looks like on Android, but this is what it looks like on Apple. So let's open up the app. Hopefully. Get started. Oh, I already have an account. Oh, well. Anyway, this is what it does. Dictate how many ingredients that you use. And so you go into here, and let's say you want to use some garlic, an onion, a bell pepper, say a carrot, and some celery. Plus they have 90 more there. And then we're going to use some Greek yogurt with, let's say, some paprika and some garlic powder. I love garlic. I'm not going to bake anything. We're not going to really use any sugars or sweets. I think I'm going to use some pineapple and maybe some sunflower oil. And we'll probably Parmesan cheese. We're not going to use any meat or nuts or seeds. So then we're going to hit See Recipes. It's going to build us a menu. And there's 414 things that you can make. And it'll tell you, like, this is what you can make with your Greek yogurt. This is what you can use with 5 of the ingredients that you picked or less. And let's just pick one. So there's some semi-homemade Greek frozen yogurt. And then all you need to do is put the ingredients into your builder on your app, and then you can figure out exactly how many points it is. But and then you hit the full recipe, and it will tell you exactly how to make it. Here's the ingredients, and then how you work it. So anyway, I just thought for something new to try, you might like it. Okay, for breakfast, we're gonna just have some oatmeal, tea, orange juice, and grapefruit in that. Today is Wednesday, November 17th. I get 18 daily points. I think I have 25 weeklies. Weight Watcher says I have 34. I'm not using the extra ones just yet. But my quote is positive action combined with positive thinking will result in success. It's a 3-point breakfast, 0 for my oatmeal, banana, grapefruit, and my tea. 1 point for a quarter cup of 2% milk, and 2 points for my 8 ounces of Simply Light orange juice. Forgot to put that out there. That's the orange juice that I use, and that's the oatmeal, and just regular 2% milk. But let's go eat. I'm hungry. Well, it stopped raining long enough that I could get my 30-minute walk in. I feel so much better. I really do. But look at it's gonna be raining all night. It's late. It's like 10 after 4, something like that. So anyway, I just wanted to get my walk in. I was going to try to walk around the house. Boring, very boring. So I thought, no, it's not raining that hard. It was just spritzing when I went. I like to call it spitting. Sorry, forgot about that. I call it spitting. S-P-I-T-T-I-N-G, because it wasn't raining that hard. And then it stopped, so I'm fine. But I feel very accomplished. I got a 30-minute, mile-and-a-quarter walk in. It's just starting to sprinkle again. So think about, I didn't eat lunch. So my lunch is going to be my dinner, and then my dinner for today will probably be my dinner tomorrow. We'll see. Okay, I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Okay, for dinner, I'm going to have some vegetables, a turkey and cheese sandwich, sugar-free Jell-O, and about a cup of stew, and my iced tea. So it's 2 points for my 2 ounces of the deli turkey, 5 points for my ounce of provolone cheese, 2 points, oh, I forgot the bread, 2 points for the sugar-free Jell-O, 3 points. I don't know how to figure the stew because my potatoes are free. It's chicken broth, or it's like beef broth. just a few noodles and 3 pieces of meat. So I counted it as 3, but I forgot my bread. My bread is 2. So that brings it to 14. So that's 17. But I'm still within my points. 2 points for my bread. And so it's 14 and 3 is 17. So it's a 17-point day. Let's go eat. Well, I feel like alfalfa. I've got hat hair now from my walk when I had my hat on. So my hair's all flat, and I was trying to fix it, and this my colic right here, it doesn't want to go down. Should I put my hood up? Let's see. So I can look like a gangster. Let's see. There you go. Little Red Riding Hood. Anyway, I forgot to show you, I forgot that when I started a new book today, The Murder House. I know, James Patterson, but let me guess, it's really by David Ellis. But James Patterson gets the big credit at the top of the book. But excellent book. I just started reading it. It's got 475 pages, and I'm on 325 already. It's a really good book, but I'm not going to finish it tonight because my Survivor's on tonight. I got to watch Survivor and then A Million Little Things. And then what else do I watch? This is my busy night. Because I watch The Connors and Home Economics and CSI, Vegas, or The Sinner on USA. So I watch a lot of things tonight. So Jim texted me because where he's at, he doesn't have cell service. Not clear. It's hard to hear. I know we have Verizon. Can you hear me now? No, we can't hear you because he's up in the Upper Peninsula where hopefully they're going to get the broadband internet by next year when he goes. But he has really poor connection, but he can send texts. And so he told me he might be coming home on Friday because he hasn't, as we say, caught a deer. He gets so upset when we say, "Did you catch a deer?" He says, "No, I didn't catch a deer. You think I run through the forest and try to chase him?" And I went, "Oh, no, you're not like Cochise, or you're not like the last of the Mohicans. You don't run through the forest." So, but anyway, the book is really good. It's about, I would love to have this house. Look at the house on top of right on the water, up on a cliff. It would be gorgeous. It's a mansion, actually. But anyway, it's about, obviously, people that get murdered in that house. Not necessarily in that house, but in that general area. And it's a serial killer they're trying to catch. The books I read, even when I'm alone, I don't understand. And then I was watching Kim over at A Girl on Her Phone. Kim, piece of advice about your milk. I had a car, when was it? Quick story. Well, it's not going to be a quick story. I don't know how to tell a quick story. You know that. I had a car. It was a Cavalier. And I had the car and I had it for a couple of years, and sometime during the winter, one of my milks had leaked, just like she said her milk had leaked. And it had got into the thing, and I thought I cleaned it up somewhat. I tried to clean it up, did the best I could, and thought it was okay. And then the summer came. Oh my gosh, the milk somehow had seeped down into the well where the spare tire was, and it got sour. And let me tell you, you cannot get sour milk smell out of your car no matter what you do. I tried everything. So it got to the point that I told Jim, I said, I can't drive. I have to drive with the windows down all the time because it stunk so bad. So I told Jim, I said, I have to get another car. Well, did I ever mention how bad I was with money? Bad with money. So he says, well, we're not going to be able to get a car. And I go, yeah, I think we'll be able to get a car. So we went and we found a car. It was a purple Probe. I loved it. It was so sharp. And took it for a test drive. And he says, well, do you have a car to trade in? And I go, yeah, but I didn't bring it because I left it at home with all the windows open. I wanted to get that smell out. And so he says, well, we need to have the car to give you an appraisal on the other car. So I drove the car in with all the windows down, and the guy got in the car real quick and took it for a quick little ride around the block, and then he come back and they gave us our price for the car. I would have taken anything because it smelled that bad. And so he says, oh, okay. He says, well, we'll have to put a credit application through, and I'll let you know. So I said, okay. So we went home. And back then, credit didn't come right away. You had to wait a day or two. And so he calls back, and he says, oh, your credit was approved. And I went, oh, okay. I hung up the phone, and Jim says, "You have got to be in me because there ain't no way in hell that our credit passed." I said, "He said that I could come back tonight at 5 o'clock and pick up the car. He's going to have it. They had to clean it, and prep it, and all that." He says, "But it'll be ready. Just come on in." So I said, "Okay, sounds good." So Jim says, "Well, I can't believe it." So my mom was playing. My mom had like her sisters. She had 3 sisters that always came over, and they played not bunco. What did they play? Oh, like poker and, Michigan. We called it Michigan rummy, which is just rummy where you put the pennies around. Like you got to get like a pair, and then you get the pennies, and it's like a poker hand, and then you put the pennies all around, and then you get your cards and you deal, and then I don't know. I forget how to play it, but anyway, it was a poker game. They played a lot of poker, and they played like slam, and I'm trying to think of some of the other. I forget. Well, there was a lot of games we played. But anyway, so then I told all my aunts, I said, "I'm going to get my new car. I'm just so excited. I'm glad you're here. You're going to see my brand new car." And so Jim brings me over there. And as we walk into the showroom, the look on the salesperson's face was like he was going to his grave. He was like mortified that we had showed up. And I'm thinking, what's going on here? So we get up to the desk, and he says, "Didn't I forgot to call you back." And I go, "Yeah, about what?" He said, "Your loan wasn't approved." And I went, "Oh, hell no, I'm not leaving here without a car. You told me it was approved. I've got 4 aunts back at my house waiting to see my new car, and I am not going to go back there humiliated that I don't have a car." And I said, "You told me this morning, and I've already made arrangements," and blah. He said, "Well, let me go talk to my service manager." So then he goes and talks to his service manager. And back then is when they had just started leasing cars. They weren't buying, it was just like a new thing that they were doing. And he said, "Well, the money you were going to put down, if you want to put it as a lease, we'll do that." He says, "But after 2 years, you got to turn the car back in, and you don't get, how leases work." But back then it was like all new. And I said, "So I'm paying you all this money that I was going to pay on a down payment on a car. And at the end of the 2 years, I'm not going to have a car." And he said, "Yeah, that's basically how it works." I go, "Well, that doesn't seem right." And he says, "Well, your other choice is to take your car that you have right now and go home with that one." I mean, he was nice about it. He wasn't being like a smart ass or anything. And so I said, "Well, we're going to have to talk about this." And so then the guy walked away, and I told Jim, I says, "We're taking the 2-year lease. I'm not leaving here without a car." So he came back. We signed all the papers, and we got a car. And at the end of the 2 years, I turned it in, and I would never lease again. Never. I've never leased again, ever. But anyway, you think I would be ashamed of that, but I'm kind of proud of the fact that I stood my ground. I really did stand my ground. I lived my life. I just lived my life. And like I say, it would be nice to have a lot of money in the bank. It really would. Who wouldn't want a lot of money in the bank? But this is the way I've been my whole life, and I guess this is the way I'm going to end the rest of it, just being, although I can't say that. I'm really good with money now, but back then, I just wanted to have a good time. And you know what, let me tell you, I had a good time. I had a good time my whole life. I'm still continuing to have a good time. So that's all that really matters in life, is having a good time and providing. We did provide. So anyway, I babbled on for 8 minutes. This is going to be a long video. I so apologize, but if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave a comment, hit the like button, share if you think somebody might like to see it. As always, stay safe, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.